it wouldn't make any fucking sense. Because even when he's laying out his Ren on full blast, it's only the size of that mountain, whereas Pitou's Ren that's being restricted by 10 expands like kilometers. But even if what you were saying was true, it would be ridiculous, right? Because if Netero has less control than Pitou, then when Pitou uses 10 to amplify his physicals and amplify his physical strength, he would do it better because more aura is being contributed to that action, right? He has better control over it, so he can manipulate more of it to do what's required rather than some of it being wasted. So whatever horn you take, I mean, you're just getting fucking like fucked in the booty right now, to be honest.
Okay, look, so
Wait,
truth.
no, wait. Let me.
No.
It's not your time yet. See, what was the context in which Netero makes a statement that Pitou is stronger than him? He just looks at her, right, for the most part.
Yeah, he just looks. I can send it in these hands.
Yeah, so Flames made the or posited like the really, really moronic possibility that maybe he's just purely talking about physical strength. One, in a verse in which characters' stats are almost solely in an infight decided by their aura and their ability to reinforce their bodies. The Killua statement that C sent would be like a good example of this, whereas Killua in base without Nen is physically superior to this guy, yet can't damage him at all because of the disparity in aura. So it seems really confusing that somebody would try to gauge or make a general statement about somebody's strength off of staring at their physical body, and that would be the entirety of the basis. For one, for two, he sees nothing that she does with the physical body, but has the ability to sense her Nen. So there's like a million reasons not to believe that the guy just fucking glanced at her, saw that she looked muscular, and cut down to her in physical fucking strength, as opposed to just sensing her Nen, as fighters do in Hunter x Hunter very consistently. Something they get fear hacks by, something they do at the start of the fight to try to gauge how strong their opponent is. It seems a lot more consistent that he would have just looked at her, sensed her, both said the same shit, so it kind of responds to both of them.
Okay, now I'm gonna respond. So let's start with the first thing. Nothing suggests that Netero can see physicals. We see earlier on in the series where Killua can't sense Ren. Like the first time he sensed Ren is later on when he fought Zushi, I'm pretty sure. But he hasn't sensed Hisoka's Ren or like Nen generally at the point of the Hunter exams. Yeah, he's still able to make comments on his strength. And he hasn't like seen him fight either. So that implies that he can determine how strong Hisoka is based off of just like looking at him alone and his sheer physicals as well. For the scan that C sent with Killua and this other guy, Killua says he has a slight edge in physical strength, but he has like he has better Nen and stuff. Like Aura contributes significantly to offense and defense. This does not suggest at all that Nen is or Aura is mostly what determines a fight. It just says significantly. Significantly can still mean like 50% or sub 50%. They can still be equal. Specialists also C is like really, really retarded. It's never stated in the series that specialists period have 100% efficiency in every single Nen type category or whatever. It's only stated for Kurapika, but that can be because he's imposed like a bunch of restrictions on himself, which we know has happened. Like for example, with Emperor Time, the mode in which he has this efficiency, he has I'm pretty sure for every second he spends in it, he loses 1 hour of his lifespan. I'm like, yeah, truth, you got the other stuff.
All right, yeah, so I'm relying off the diction that, C gave me, right? So when he says, well, okay, you're granting that he has this better control and it wouldn't make any sense for him to have, more Nen when he's restricting it with 10. Well, for one, Pitou, when he's restricting his Nen with 10, right, he's restricting it over a set amount of distance, which is the entire castle, because he doesn't want people outside of the castle feeling it, right? But he does want it to be felt throughout the castle to maybe deter enemies, things of that nature, right? So that's for like that. Like it doesn't really do anything. Like the pool being bigger, you can just restrict it a little bit. Like if you restrict it 1%, I grant that the pool is bigger, I guess, in totality. It doesn't do anything. That he's restricting it and Netero's not restricting it, right? It doesn't really fucking matter. And then you said, right, the diction that you gave me was control. What was it? Control outside the body or away. Oh, control away from the body, right? So I don't grant that he has better control relative to the body, but maybe better control away from the body. Okay. So the idea that he can better enhance his body, it just doesn't make sense given what the diction that you gave me, right?
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was not listening to what Flame said at first. I only listened to the second point and
All I
Truths.
listened to is what Flame said at first, so that works out perfectly. You
Yeah.
respond to the other stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Wait, should I go and reply now? Do you want to reply to what Flame said first?
I'll just reply to what he said. So, Flames, you failed horribly, very, very horribly to track the claim. So, the claim wasn't that Netero is incapable of like gauging her physical ability at all by looking at her. Like, obviously, I gave you some means by which you could make like some sort of estimate. It's just the accuracy of these sort of gauges that would be what's in question in the first place. And two, like the kilo example that you gave, where he looks at Hisoka and is able to gauge that he is strong, is really, really fucking ass, because there are ways that you could tell that somebody is strong in a combative scenario without making some analysis of their physical body that's accurate, i.e., like confidence in engaging in combat would be like a good indication. Like a million other things you could look at to say that somebody is strong without, doing some weird hyper analysis of precisely how strong they are physically. It seems really, really weird in terms of like a leap that you're making. As for you saying that the Nen isn't like a majority decider of what goes on in combat or your physical stats, rather, your response was also a little bit confused there. Again, so like you said, Killua does say that he has a slight edge in physical strength. So no net involved. Killua has a slight edge. This goes from a slight edge, Flames, to an absolutely zero chance that he wins in a physical altercation. He is incapable of dealing damage to the guy directly at fucking all. I don't know if you understand how large of a disparity that is to hit somebody not being capable of damaging them at all when you were previously stronger than them. I'm not sure if you like grasp how big of an amp that is, but should be like a pretty good indication. You grant that significant is obviously going to be like some major portion of what decides a fight, anyways. What Kill was talking about here when he says there are other factors that are relevant, or implies there are other factors that are relevant, would be things such as strategy or utilization of Hatsu. I don't think it's anything speaking in reference to the base physical body at fucking all.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just pick up from afterwards. Another thing is like, there's obviously going to be issues with trying to gauge someone's physical strength just based on their physical body alone. Because, well, we can see that Nen, like Gizbob said, plays a big role. For example, when Morel is getting ready to tank, what's his name, Gon's attack, his physical body swells up to like triple its size. Or, for example, in the GIF I sent in VC scans, Peter's getting ready to jump towards Kite and her legs swell, right? Presumably through the enhancement of Nen. And so just looking at someone's frame isn't really a good way to gauge how strong they are. Frames can be deceiving. Gon is a small little fucking 12-year-old. Gon could have killed Morel in one shot during the Palace invasion arc. So I mean, it's just ridiculous for like someone that's as experienced as Netero to think, okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell how strong this enemy is by looking at their like little femboy frame. Aside from that, you made like a really silly fucking claim. You said there's no point in the series where it's stated that being a specialist means that you can be a good enhancer or be as good as other enhancers. I'm just going to read out these scans I sent you in VC scans. Keep in mind, they have sent 0 scans since the start of the debate. I've only been sending scans every time I say something. This scan is from this the series. It says there are some practical limitations for the other types. Transmuters, for example, have a hard time learning manipulative abilities, but specialists have none of that. If there were any negatives at all, it's that they might not realize they're specialists, focus on another type, and regret it later. This can and does happen, right? So the idea is specialists don't face any difficulty learning any Nen type. Like the reason why some individuals struggle, right, with certain Nen types, for example, Castor, is because Castor tried to do, like, if you remember who Castor is, a clone, and that's like the opposite of his Nen type as an enhancer, and so it was like not very good. It didn't really focus on the strengths. Specialists don't have that issue at all, right? They can do any Nen type because they're specialists, right? You can also look at this panel with Karapika. You should say the reason why Karapika might have the efficiency and stuff is because of the conditions. But you're an idiot because he says, my scarlet eyes enabled me to conjure the judgment chain. When my eyes turn scarlet, I become a specialist and can use whatever abilities I've learned to full effect. Obviously, there's a correlation between him becoming a specialist and using those abilities. Otherwise, why the fuck would it be mentioned in him explaining his moves, explaining how he was able to put Ubugin in that situation? I just think it's fucking ridiculous, to be honest. The third thing is like, I don't know why Truth you're so focused on this point because you told me it was just a maybe. It was just something you kind of brought up to say, like, make it seem like you had an argument. I could drop it right now, because it's just not
All right, go ahead and
really
drop
that
the point,
fucking
little
relevant.
bitch. Concede like a bitch on rec. Go ahead.
Okay.
That was embarrassing.
uh,
But
really
anyways,
fucking bad. I'm trying to think. I mean, did he say anything else about Netero? Um, I don't think so. I can't remember if he said anything else actually. But I mean, like the whole Netero stuff about him like restricting his aura to like not have it reach the palace. Oh yeah, I was gonna respond to that by saying if your whole point is that he gets stronger, um, then him restricting his aura doesn't really make much sense. That's like going to the gym and like lifting weights that are like below your strength. like lifting light weights, it just prolongs the fucking training by a lot, and so it makes it less likely that he got significantly stronger because they only had like a month to train, right? And it's stated by Biscuit it takes a month to prolong your run by 10 minutes, and that's Gon and Kilo using it at full blast. He's presumably holding it back by a very big extent to make it so that it's only a mountain level in size of like 2.3 kilometers or 2.7 kilometers. And so presumably the effect by which he'll be able to prolong his run would also decrease significantly because he's not going full out, right? He's not reaching the required, like, I don't know, intensity that's required to, even cause him to increase his run output. So, I mean, like, overall, I mean, is there like an argument you have to respond to the fucking claims that we're making, or?
Yeah, look,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Wait, what the
All right,
fuck?
bro.
Wait, I'm
Flames,
gonna
you
respond
took
to
your
what shit
notes.
he said about me first,
Bro,
bro.
chill out. You took notes, bro. I didn't take no notes. So like
No,
I
bro.
might
Okay,
forget
I'll
it
link you
soon.
the notes. Okay, well, look.
Chill out, bro. Enough. All right.
No, bro. I want to respond to the
See,
stuff he
wait,
said first.
chill out, bro. Chill out. All
Follow
right.
the fucking
So
order, bro.
so see, you know that like the gap that Gon and
What,
Killua
what,
make is some very, 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 very significant gap because it's like them being able to hold it for like a few seconds and then it goes to 10 minutes. So that's like, what is that? A fucking, I don't even know, bro. I'm not the mathematician. I think it's like a good size increase though, good multiple times increase, right? So that's like some major, major, major increase, but that's not like multiple times over, right? But that's not what I'm arguing for. What I'm saying is there is some significant, increase, maybe 30%, maybe 50%, maybe, 40%. It doesn't really matter. There's just some significant increase, not multiple times over, but some significant increase. So if he's not training as hard as Gon and Killua were, right, to the point where he gets this, fucking multiple 50 times amp, 100 times amp, 25 times amp, right? If he's not doing that, that doesn't really matter because all I'm saying is, oh, maybe he's 40% stronger. Or, oh, maybe he's 50% stronger. Or, oh, maybe he's 60%, right? So that just doesn't really matter. And then I guess the point about him, or I guess he just dropped the other shit, so it doesn't really matter. Flames keep talking now.
Okay. Look. Okay, so Gizbob gave a couple retarded examples to explain why the accuracy is wrong. But first he said that Killua. First of all, he can't prove that the accuracy is wrong. Killua says like an approximation. Approximations are supposed to be like pretty close to the original. And Gizbob said Killua can determine his strength based off of things like aside from his like his muscles and stuff like that, like his muscle density stuff like that. For example, confidence and etc. etc. I want him to prove that these are even things that are considered strength in Hunter x Hunter. Like that's how it's usually used in Hunter x Hunter and by Killua. The second thing is, what was it? Gizbob said that Killua had a slight edge in physical stats, but then the guy he's fighting, there was like a big gap between them after he started using Nen. Look, that doesn't have to mean that's because Nen Simplicator is makes up most of like someone's ability to win a fight. It can just be because that guy's Nen was so much better than Killua's that it completely overwhelmed his physical advantage. The next part is I ain't gonna lie, bro. He just kind of yapped for the rest of it, but he mentioned how frames are deceiving. I think that was C or Gizbob, one of those. I never said Netero was judging this based off like how he looked. Maybe Netero can determine your muscle density based off of just looking at you. Okay, but there's some manners. There's some way of doing this. For the second thing about the specialist stuff, C sent a pretty retarded scan of Kurapika saying, "quote When my eyes turn scarlet, I become a specialist and can use whatever abilities I've learned to full effect." C is assuming that when Kurapika can use every ability that they've learned, every Nen type to full effect or full efficiency, that this is because they're a specialist instead of it being because their eyes have turned scarlet. There's two separate things that are happening in the scan. And Kurapika never says that this is because they're a specialist. And for the other scan that C sent, this is like really fucking useless. It never mentions once that specialists can like learn every Nen or like can perform every Nen type to their max. Like even imply that just because they're a specialist, and actually the example given is Kurapika. That might just be because of the scarlet eyes instead of them being a specialist. So yeah, you can
Like a
respond.
fucking idiot. I mean, there are like a couple of things to say from what I took notes on. Okay, cool. So like these are my notes, by the way, like ironically. So I guess I'll just respond and then whatever Gizbob has to say afterwards he can say. The few seconds to 10 minutes for Golden Killua is literally just head cannon x head cannon. Right? Like it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know how you keep doing this like every single time you give an argument. There is no reason to believe it's a few seconds to 10 minutes. Like there's no reason to believe it's a few seconds, right? Like at all. I think that's fucking silly as shit. Like you can't prove to me it's a few seconds. And even then, like it's also not the point, it's just a mistrack. Bisky says they say, as in like what's believed is that it takes a month to prolong your run by 10 minutes. And this is like the general trend in hunters. It's like what hunters generally believe, right? That's the idea. So it's not really based on Gon and Killua's performance at all. Gon and Killua artificially do this by healing themselves, right? It's like they heal themselves artificially so they can continue training way more than the average person could within the space of 24 hours. But no, like generally speaking, what Biscuit is talking about, and I'm saying that Netero would progress at an even slower rate because he's not training at his maximum intensity in the same way like common sense would lead you to believe. If you go to the gym and you lift 1 kilogram weights, right, for a month, versus you go to the gym and you lift weights that are actually like going to progressively overload you, you would get more gains in the latter rather than the former. It's kind of how it works. As long as he gets an amp, it's okay. I mean, that's also fucking ridiculous. Even if we can't quantify the amp, like we should have great reason to believe that the amp is not that significant compared to a post-mortem amp plus a battle mode amp. We've seen that characters, when they go like full power, the strength that they get is ridiculous. For example, Xeno focusing his aura into his hand, and Crowley saying that the power focused in his hand is like outrageous, and he doesn't have the defenses to block it, for example. The point here, just so you guys can track, is that when you go full power, there's a massive difference. And I'm saying that Pitou, when Netero sees her, is using N. She's not in battle mode, she's not at full power. So him going at full power would make her quite a bit stronger. We've seen that's kind of what we see with characters when they go full power. There's a great gap in strength. And then the post mortem amp as well. I mean, Nen just gets stronger after death, to the point where it can revive Hisoka and stuff like that. So I mean, 2 amps versus 1. I mean, if you want to play that game, you can. I don't even think he gets an amp. I already explained why I think the amp that he would get is not an amp that's relevant to what we're talking about, which is the magnitude of your Nen. And then like the flames failing to track stuff. I don't know why I have to explain this like basic fucking HXH shit to you. Like just I don't I can't understand. But the reason why Kurapika becomes a specialist is because of Emperor time, right? So the condition is like for as long as he has the Scarlet Eyes open or whatever on, he loses I think a month of his lifespan every second or something. But he becomes a
It's an
specialist
hour every second, yeah.
an hour, yeah, something on those lines. And if you look at the skylights, and it's like the clearest I can show you this, they give a grid, right, which is like I guess like a hexagon of the Nen types. You notice how conjuration for Kurapika is 100% because he's a conjurer, and emission is at 40% because it's on the opposite of the hexagon, right? It then goes on to explain that the maximum level of mastery contained is level 8 for transmutation, because it's next to him, right? And then level 6 for enhancement, because it's like kind of next to him, and then level 4 for emission, right? And then it then goes on to say, for example, if Kurapika at level 10 and then emitter at level 4 use the same emissive ability at the same time, the natural emitter would have more effectiveness. However, when Kurapika's eyes turn scarlet, he can use the level 4 emissive ability at 100% with an effectiveness equal to the emitter. Right? So the point is that when you become a specialist, you can use it with 100% effectiveness. There's no longer going to be a gap between yourself as, an enhancer versus yourself as a specialist, right? Like this whole fucking point. I don't understand how this is like unclear to you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's like deliberately clearer than this in the series explains how this stuff works. I mean, I guess I could just ask you a question. If you don't think this is how it works the way I described it to you, then how would you explain what specialists are naturally proficient in? And because presumably specialists have a Nen type that they're, proficient in, right? And at least one, right? Whether it's like manipulation with Pitou and Dr. Blythe, well, it's not really manipulation, but it's some sort of blend of all three. Whether it's like Meruem stuff, he's also a specialist or whatever. What would specialists under your view be proficient in terms of Nen? And if Gizbob has anything else to say, you can say it. Well, I kind of want to conclude. It's kind of boring.
Okay, yeah, there really wasn't that much left to cover. Flames did like a really bad job of tracking the claims once again. He just grants that Killua's gauge is to some extent inaccurate, and then dizzies himself, asking me about whether or not Killua would actually consider confidence as some factor that plays into strength in the series or something indicative of strength, which is largely non-relevant. The point was just to show that, for one, What you failed to do entirely is evidence that there is any fucking mechanism by which somebody could look at another person, gauge their muscle density, and just adequately calculate the output that would come from their muscles without begging the question on the initial kilowatt thing. For two, again, the only point of that sort of example was just to tell you that there are things that Kilowatt can be using to gauge strength that are not this magical mechanism in which he stares at somebody and then all of a sudden knows exactly how physically powerful, fast, and durable they are. Seems really, really weird, especially when I already gave you the reasons to why the Nen thing, at least in the case of Netero, makes infinitely more sense because it's something that is done consistently throughout the story. It's something that is done by Netero himself. And you already granted this thing is going to be relevant to a fight. So even if you think that it's not the majority made up by Nen manipulation or whatever, which is really, really retarded, and the argument for it is really, really bad, doesn't even warrant a response. Even if you think that it is not a majority coming from the Nen imps and whatever else, if it is something significant, which you grant, right, that it's like proportionately significant, it makes it really, really weird to commit to Netero, the hyper experienced hunter and the strongest guy in all of the Hunter Association, not being able to adequately gauge his opponents, instead making claims based off of the appearance of their physical body, presumably, because again, you've yet to evidence anything else aside from positing a random possibility, which is really, really stupid. So yeah, what you've committed to is Netero maybe looked at her body and maybe knew exactly how dense her muscles were, and maybe just made the claim regarding that without factoring in Nen, which is again significant when considering who wins in a fight or who's stronger between two characters.
Okay, I'm gonna start first because Truth started first last time. Let's go to the scan that C read out loud word for word and didn't explain why being a specialist correlates to having 100% mastery in all the Nen types. So he said that. I'm just gonna focus on the bottom thing. He said he brought up like the little diagram where you have Karapika at level 4 normally for emission, I think, and then they use their scarlet eyes, and then they get they're at like, how do I explain? It's like the max potential for someone who's naturally an emitter. But C failed to read the scan. Again, nowhere there doesn't imply that being a specialist causes this. In fact, in the scan, it mentions the scarlet eyes causing this, not being a specialist. C said word for word in it's on fucking rec. He said, however, when Karapika's eyes turn scarlet, he can use a level 4 emissive ability at 100%. Therefore, this is because he's a specialist, not because of his scarlet eyes and Emperor Time and the restrictions imposed on himself. Now, for the shit that Gizbob said, he basically just asked me to prove that he's doing it through physicals. I don't see anything else that Killua can use to gauge his strength. There's like these other things that you mentioned, like confidence. I already explained that. I already explained why that wouldn't work. You have failed to show anything else, so I'm just going to go with this because it seems like more likely. And like, what else is there in a fight, like a raw fight without Nen, aside from physicals? Because this like explained by Karapika's tutor, like his teacher or whatever. And Nen gauge being done consistently through the series, yeah, that's done where two fighters are like on like a relatively equal physical level, and they have to like gauge their Nen to show like the gap between them and like see who wins in a fight. So that doesn't really defeat anything. He can't show me it being like consistently done outside of those examples. And for the last thing, Netero being like one of the strongest hunters does not make it so he has like a better gauge than anyone else. Like it's it, his main ability is like the Buddha thingy, where it just like it's the reason it's strong is because of its AP. So like Truth, you can like respond to other stuff.
Yeah. So the first thing he said was like the 10 minutes in 1 month going full blast. He can send that. And then now that like I kind of just realized that he was talking about, well, okay, he's not training, letting it all out, blah blah blah. Well, there's like two things we can talk about here. The first is Netero isn't, expelling all of his aura, but he does make the claim that Pitou is strong. He knows that Meruem is stronger than Pitou, given like how the strength increases with the ants in some hierarchical manner, right? So he is going to be training. He does know how to train, right? Presumably, given that he's one of the smartest people with his training, with the fucking 1,000 punches per day and shit and all that, right? So for one, he does know that he's training for an opponent stronger than Pitou, right? So it doesn't make sense for him to do something that wouldn't significantly help him. And for two, the reason in which the training, even if he's not going all out, or probably still is significant, is like, let's say you take a break from a sport, because we know that in this case, Netero's rusty. Let's say you take a break from a sport, from a game, from anything you do in life, right? When you come back to that thing and you start doing it again, even if you're not doing it at 100%, let's say you're going 80%, let's say you're going 70, let's say you're going 60, you're going to be able to, vastly and significantly improve at that thing, right? I guess over like a month's period of time. If you're rusty, you're knocking the rust off, right? That's kind of just how it goes with things like that. So there's two reasons for us to believe that, Netero is getting some sort of significant boost. And then for the other thing, I need like the going and kilowatt seconds to hours headcanon shit. I mean, I do. Maybe I misrecalled, but I'm pretty sure it was like a few minutes to like a few hours in which they could do this thing. Not a few like fucking 5 or 10, but like I think it was like 30, 45 they clocked in at first, and then it turned into several hours. But you were like, well, that doesn't really matter, blah, blah, blah. And then the last thing is like, well, okay, there's multiple amps going on with Pitou, right? And there's only 1 amp here, even if we grant that it's some sort of significant amp, right? Let's just talk about, I guess, the 2 amps that are happening with Pitou, and let's say like, talk about if they're significant or not, because obviously 2 small amps wouldn't really correlate to 1 big amp for Netero.
Okay. So I guess I'll give a response. Like at this point, wallahi, like I'm not even writing down what you guys are saying. I'm just gonna go from what I remember. Flames like genuinely has like a reading comprehension disorder of some sort, whether it's like, dyslexia or like ADHD. Like I'm talking to him, he's looking at his walls, fucking tapping his phone, he's typing in chat. I don't know if he's not focusing. Like there's no way I can make this clearer about what Karapika is saying here. Okay, if you look at the first statement, why would they say that specialists, have a hard time learning other enhancement skills, right? Or other skills in general, right? Conjurers have a hard time learning emissive skills, and emissive persons have a hard time learning conjuration skills, and enhancers have a difficult time learning emissions or no emission, manipulation. But why is it the case that specialists don't have any of that? Because they have equal difficulty or equal ability to use all of the known categories. It's like the obvious answer. That's what everyone's saying in every single fucking scan. It corroborates perfectly with Kurapika's phenomena. I already explained that Emperor Time is the name of the ability that gives Kurapika specialization, not the Scarlet Eyes, right? It's Emperor Time, okay? Emperor Time, I agree, he becomes a specialist because of a condition, right, that he puts upon himself. But that doesn't matter, right? Like, it's not relevant to what I'm fucking saying. What I'm saying is that when his eyes turn scarlet, i.e., when his eyes become red, he activates Emperor Time, right? Emperor Time's activated. When Emperor Time is activated, he becomes a specialist, and when he becomes a specialist, he can use all of these abilities in the way he's using them. It's not because his eyes merely turn scarlet that happens at all. Your eyes turning scarlet just increase your physical strength, and you know this because Uberkeen remarks it, right? When he sees Karapika's eyes, he's like, "Oh, I remember you guys. You guys were pretty strong." Doesn't mention anything about specialization. In fact, he's completely surprised that these guys are actually specialists. And then also there's another scan I sent where
So
Karapika's
repeat
like,
what you just said.
yeah, when Uberkeen's fighting Karapika, he says like, "Oh, I remember you guys. You guys were pretty strong. Your eyes were scarlet, right?" Mention strength, but he's completely surprised that Karapika's a specialist. He doesn't know how on earth he's using enhancement abilities as well as an enhancer can. Stated he's using conjuration abilities as well as a conjurer can. Stated as well. He doesn't know how he's doing this, which would make no sense if what you're saying about, oh, his eyes turn scarlet, that's why he can use all of these abilities to the full effect, was true. He would know why, because he fucking killed the whole clan. He would see one of them fucking niggas doing enhancement and doing conjuration, doing something similar to what Karapik is doing. But obviously he's an outlier, which would make more sense if it's not Skull Eyes. And there's a scan I sent as well where Karapik says it doesn't matter quite as much for me as my typing is a specialist, which doesn't give any information as to what my ability may be, right? Because specialists can specialize in anything. They can choose any fucking combination of NEN categories to make their Hatsu based off of. They don't have to specialize in enhancement like enhancers do in order to achieve full power. We can see specialists do pretty much anything they want to do. That's the fucking point. Every scan seems to agree with me. You're just gibberating and trying to give possibilities for no reason. And then Truth was like also gibberating, like unironically just chatting shit. He made a point about like the amps, the amp thing. He also made a point about like Netero. I guess I'll just respond to what I remember. He made a point about like Netero not training if Netero doesn't train for a bit. and then he goes back to training, like whatever, something along those lines. Netero trains regularly. I'm just gonna forward the scan. Let me just go to my DMs here. Hold on. Okay, here it is. This is for people that read the series, by the way. Stayed here. Chapter 319. The Hunter Zodiac's 12 top hunters handpicked by the chairman. Besides managing the association during emergencies, they must make themselves available for sparring in his free time. So he spars with the Zodiacs? Question mark? Like, that's what he fucking does. He obviously trains if he's sparring with the Zodiacs. He literally picks 12 niggas, so that he has someone available to spar with him. Obviously, he's training. He's not letting himself get rusty. That's like the opposite of letting himself get rusty. He's also doing a very common form of training on the mountain, right? So on the mountain, he's doing a very common form of training, which is what's it called? Like outputting your Ren. Gon and Kilo would do the same thing. It's a very common form of training. So I'd expect it to be something he does consistently, not just something he chooses to do for one off against the king. And additionally, I already explained, right, how he could be training for the king, right, for the king in quotation marks, without also training to increase his Ren magnitude or the magnitude of his Nen. I don't even know if he can increase the magnitude of his Nen because of his life force and stuff. Nen is life force and he's an old man. So I don't even know if that makes much sense. But like, even if we like suppose that it did, which I'm not supposing, it makes more sense that he's training his aura control because his plan against Merwin was to use the zero hand, right? That's his whole plan. That was like his whole strategy. Beat up Merwin for a bit and then catch him off guard with the zero hand and hope that that emissibility did some work. But we know that he's an enhancer, not an emisser. And so it would make more sense for him to train his control and his efficiency in controlling his aura such that when he uses an emissive ability that he finds more difficult to use, he can make it so that more aura goes towards its desired task rather than being wasted. In the same way that if you're trying to use an appliance with electricity, you want to make sure that most of the electricity is converted into the power that you need, the form of energy that you need, and doesn't get wasted as like light or heat. Similar thing there with what Netero I think is doing. And like also the small amp thing is like also like ridiculous. Like I just don't understand. Like I've already given reasons for why the amp for Netero would be small because he's
Yes, mother,
restricting
I'm coming.
he's restricting his Nen. Building off what you were saying that he'd be restricting his Nen because he doesn't want to let people in the palace know that he's like, I don't know, aggressive or being an aggressor or something. So that means that in normal situations he would not be restricting his Nen, presumably. And that means that actually when he's training in normal situations, he would be getting more benefits than when he's training in this situation. Right? Like ironically, it would just not give him the same benefits at all. Right? If you go from consistently training at a certain level of intensity and you drop in intensity, why would you still be progressively overloading, right? Like in terms of like physical common sense intuitions, it's just not how it works in real life, not how it works when you go to the gym. It should also not be how it works when you train in Hunter x Hunter, regardless whether it's Nen or some other ability. I just don't think that makes much sense. But yeah, I mean, the whole point is I already explained why it would probably be an insignificant amp. If he's really holding back his Nen to that great of an extent, um, fucking ridiculously small amp. And whereas going into battle mode is a pretty fucking strong amp because most of Pitou's N or Ren or Nen or whatever, most of Pitou's energy is spread out over a 2 kilometer radius, and she puts all of that back into her body or very close to her body. Obviously, that's going to yield more results than you training at a very low intensity. And she also gets a post-mortem amp as well, right? We've seen that post-mortem amps can bring people back from the dead with sheer Nen alone, like completely fucking revive them. Have enough Nen to like one-shot people, right? If you've read the fucking like selection arc, succession arc, it's like post-mortem amps are also very strong. Pitou's battle mode amp is also very strong. Your amp is comparatively weak. I just think in terms of like which one we believe is more fucking weighted, I think it's Pitou's. So like, I just think we've given reasons why Pitou wins, and I'd like to conclude if that's all right with you guys.
Let me address a retarded shit that Flames, are you here? By the way, is he here? Because there's like a scan that
Yes,
still
bitch.
hasn't sent. Yeah, don't do that. That's really unappealing. Can you send the scan that I was asking you for in the scans channel real fast so I can engage with that? And then there's like a couple other really stupid things you said.
It's the Hanzo scan, bro.
Huh?
It's the Hanzo scan.
Bro, don't. You're saying that like
Oh
I
my
have that.
god.
What the fuck?
Fine, I'll
I
get
just
it.
need to
I'll
send
get it.
it. Thank you.
Wait, is it the Hanzo scan where it's like if I had to compare you to Ahsoka and
What
like
up,
he's
bro?
like,
I'll find it.
is that the scan? You know that's made after
Flames'
he sees
claim was
the
that
examiner.
Kilo has no
Bro,
basis on Hisoka's compatibility
No,
external to just
no, no,
looking
no,
at him. Is that wrong?
no. That's fucking ridiculous. That scan is made after the Hunter exam where he sees Hisoka fight, he sees Hanzo fight.
no, he
What the
doesn't. No,
fuck
he
are we
doesn't.
doing?
No, he doesn't. He never sees his
Wait,
Zoka fight.
is this post tournament or is this going into
Yes,
the?
post Hunter exam.
I mean, he does see Hisoka fight.
Then he's seen
I mean, it's
Hisoka.
not-
When?
He
Are you
sees him
mentally
kill
ill?
the fucking guy, does he not?
Yes,
Who, bro? Who? The fuck?
He kills the examiner. That's why he doesn't get the fucking
bro.
Hunter license, doesn't it?
Oh my god.
Did he go all out against the fucking examiner?
Doesn't matter. Oh, you're a fucking idiot.
What
Let's
the
finish
fuck,
this, bro, please.
Flames? It doesn't matter whether or not he went all out. That would
Oh,
be the fucking basis, as opposed to
Hold
this
on, bro. Let me
magical
see the scan
ability
first.
by
Let me see
which
the
you
scan
would
first. Hold on, let me see
fucking
the scan
scan
first. Hold
somebody's
on,
body with your eyes.
Fuck up, bro. Also, did he use Nen when killing the examiner?
Irrelevant.
What the fuck, brother? He saw him diff an examiner. That would be the basis.
I don't even remember that, bro. I don't even remember that
You
actually.
just need
Hold
to
on.
stop coping it up. Okay, so
Brother,
your
it's
killer
when
example was
can tell you
downright
the thing.
awful. You gave
Let
this
me
other
find the
response,
fucking
whereas
scan. Oh my
bro,
god, bro.
we don't
Come
need
on.
your
By the
scan,
way,
kid. We know the
by the
insight.
You
way,
don't need the
Gizbob,
scan. Okay, send me where he kills the examiner.
bro, look, listen to me. It's when they come out of the tunnel and then there's a fake examiner and he fucking riddles him with cards and he's like, okay, now then the real examiner comes out of the mist and they go through the fucking jungle. That's the fucking scan where he kills the
Bro,
examiner
that
in
yeah.
front of
Show
everyone.
me that. Show me Kilo looking at him.
Huh?
Show me Kilo looking at him.
Who's the guy with
looking at him, man?
the little daggers that Hisoka fights as well? Is that during the
Show me
exams?
Kilo. What the? Oh my
Wait,
days, bro. Show
what
me
would
Kilo
Kilo be
looking at, bro.
doing? What would
Just calm
Kilo
down.
be doing when Hisoka's killing someone? Like, would he be looking away? What the fuck? Why would he
Was
look
this
away?
was this right after they got out of the tunnel?
It was a bit afterwards. The examiner came out
Yeah, there
acting
was
like a
there was
fake.
like mist all around. There was mist
Let
all
me
around
finish.
afterwards.
Let me finish. The examiner comes out. He acts like he's the real examiner. Hisoka kills him. So presumably the attention would be on this person who's acting like the real examiner, right? Like I think that makes
Okay.
sense.
If this was like a while after they came out of the tunnel, and if this was like after like the mist came out, then Kilo just might not see the guy.
Bro, you're a fucking nigger, bro. Like I don't even know what to call you anymore. Like what do you mean?
Okay,
Kilo
okay,
has
I guess,
enhanced
bro. I guess.
senses.
Okay, while you guys hunt down for like the scan, we're gonna respond what you said, if that's fine.
Wait,
No,
no.
we'll
I
get
didn't
the
finish responding to the other stuff you're
Okay,
talking
okay,
about. So
bro. Go find the scan. Find the scan. Bro.
Wait. There's someone with like 20 burdens here, and that someone is me, bro. Can I
No,
like
me.
address
wait,
like
no. We're
anything
not even
or
done speaking. What the fuck? We're
It's
not even
okay.
done.
what the
Just
I was
write
fuck?
asking
down
the guy.
stuff, bro. Write stuff
No, what the
down, bro.
fuck? I
Calm
was just asking
down.
the guy for the scan. There's like some other retarded shit that Flame said that he
Okay,
thought he was
bro.
able to
Take
sneak in.
time.
It was really dumb. So, Flames, do you want me to wait for the scan to get gotten first?
I'll get the scan. I'm on it right now.
Okay, scan. Get that shit.
Wait, did anyone see Hisoka fight the like X
Matter
examiner
of
with the
fact, I'll get
dagger,
the
or is
scan.
that like in like a room that nobody else is in?
I'll get the scan, bro.
It's probably in a room no one else is in.
It
What's the
is, yeah.
Also,
chapter?
Flames, you
Wasn't
just
sure.
lie. Like you've never read Hunter until like unironically.
I have Wallahi Wallahi.
No, you haven't, bro.
I read it yesterday.
Also, wait, Flames, you do realize part of the basis would also come from Hisoka being able to easily pass the trials and the Hunter exams, like no efforts basically every trial, right?
Does he know that?
Yes.
What the fuck? He
He knows
sees
that
Hisoka
his
in a
focus
vast
is
majority of them. For one, complete them without difficulty. For two,
No, he
obviously he
doesn't. He
sees
never
Hisoka
sees
makes it to the
himself
tournament at
complete
the
a
end.
fucking trial, bro.
He's
brother,
never
he
seen
doesn't need
Hisoka
to.
complete a fucking trial.
No, he hasn't.
So what about the one where they collect the tags from other players? They collect their numbers.
Bro, was he okay? He knows that he completed it. Does he know he did it with no difficulty?
Okay, so who does Hisoka fight
They were like
in
randoms.
the
I'm
trial?
gonna get their numbers.
No, he
He
fights
fights.
Gon.
Yeah, he fights going.
Yeah, he
Going
fights
probably
Gon.
tell him.
Kibo wasn't there, dumbass. He was fighting the brothers.
He doesn't need to be unironically to make the
What the
fucking
fuck? Oh,
assassination.
okay, so
God,
he
my
fights the
bad.
guy that he hangs out with every day. And
No,
presumably none of the information was relayed.
1v3 the brothers
This
while they were
Flames, this
fighting. Oh, no. It's whatever, bro. It's whatever.
yeah, the information was never relayed regarding this other guy that he's gonna have to fight in a tournament later. Yeah, he just didn't do that.
The
But
fuck did you just
irregardless, he
say?
knows that the guy passed all the trials. And any trial that he's seen Hisoka at the end of, which again, after they collect the numbers, everybody meets up in the same spot. Hisoka is uninjured, not sweating, perfectly fine. While everybody else is presumably expended a lot of energy,
He is
potentially
injured.
injured, all these other
He has
things.
cuts on him. He has cuts on him.
He has cuts on him.
Yes.
From what?
Ah, yo, wait.
It
Gizbob,
was
like,
from.
just. Sorry, I found this. I found the scan. It's like 8 or 9
He
He's
has
found
scans.
a
cuts
scan?
on him,
All
bro.
9
Just look at it.
scans. It's like 8 or 9 panels, and like we see everyone looking at Hisoka just killing.
Where? Wait, what
everyone.
chapter? What
Wait,
chapter is it?
everyone just watch. I was gonna say, don't they comment on him killing the examiner?
It's chapter 9. Yeah, everyone's looking at him
Chapter
like
9. Thank you.
There's dead bodies on the ground. Kurapika's looking. Leoria's looking. Fucking people are dead.
Yeah, that's really bad.
He
Flames,
kills.
did
He
you
kills
Where?
everyone.
did you
Wait,
watch
I'm
this or
not
read
seeing it.
this
I'm
like
not
years
seeing it.
ago,
I'm
or
not seeing it.
what's going on?
I'm not seeing it. It's on
He kills
chapter 9.
everyone.
That's a liar. The fuck? Chapter 9
He
is where he's
Wait,
fighting
Hisoka
random.
also fights Leorio in front of them, doesn't he?
No, not.
Yeah,
Is
he
that like an
beat up
independent thing?
Leoria. No, he beats up
Bro,
Leoria
you.
right there.
Okay. I'll wait until you guys just send me the scans. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, let me look through this. Okay, so he kills a bunch of people in front of them. Dude, he kills like 30 armed people in front of them.
Okay, he kills the examiner in
Wait,
chapter 8. This
just
guy's a
pause.
fucking
Just
liar.
pause. Just
And
pause,
we
bro.
see one row around him, and we know that several hundred applicants passed. There's like 20 around him.
Wait, Flames. Let me address everything, bro.
No,
I
bro,
have
they have to send their shitty
85
scan.
burdens.
Send all. Wait,
All right.
just send
So
all
for
of your
the
trash
first thing,
scans.
so shut up, Flames.
Shut
So
the
for the
oh,
first,
oh,
bro,
what
shut
the
up
fuck?
before I bro. Shut.
They haven't
Get
even
into
finished. They haven't even
You're done.
finished.
You're done, bro. You're done.
Truth, we are unironically not done. I don't
Alright.
like. We just needed the instance. That was all we needed.
Oh
Also,
my
wait,
god.
hold on. Like,
Send
no, it's because Flames keeps talking during our turn to talk.
send the
But
fucking instance.
this scan where he kills the examiner, you can see
There
Killua
is no scan, bro. It's a
going.
fucking link. Oh, but never mind.
They're all like
Can
in the same area.
somebody mute the kid for the next month?
Okay, it's fine. Yeah, truth respond.
What?
Yes.
Bro,
So the
No,
first
no,
thing,
Truth. It's
bro,
not. It's
okay,
not actually your
pause,
time to talk. I
pause.
don't know why I brainwashed you.
Look, this is what we're gonna do, bro. Stage is dying, so we're about to move down to VC, and we're gonna continue. Actually, no, the fucking rec bot won't continue. We have to stay up here. All right. I'll moderate. It's let Gizbob and C finish. You guys have 3 minutes. We're gonna do a 3-minute talking time each, and then we'll go from there.
wait. When it's our turn to talk, I can mic up instead of Flames. Right? I have like so many burdens that like they're
Yes,
easily
I haven't
doable.
heard you talk in the last 10 minutes, bro. All right, go ahead, C.
So,
Gizbob.
Wait,
yeah,
see this in chapter 9. This is when he kills the random people, right?
yeah. Chapter 9, random people. Chapter 8 is like those people. You can see in chapter 8, Killua saw what Hisoka did, and he's like running away. Killua's just such a rat, bro. Wallahi, this guy doesn't read fucking Antanza, bro.
Wait,
Oh my god.
yeah, he literally comments on how he wants to get away from Hisoka after seeing the shit that Hisoka did.
Yeah, he was like, I'm like him. I can smell it in him. Like, oh my god, Flames, you're such a rat, bro.
Wait, so that would also be like another base which he has, like that he knows Hisoka just like runs around fucking murdering people, and then they
Yeah,
all
that's
see
true.
Hisoka kill like fucking 30 armed people in front of him. It's terrible. Okay, so yeah, that point is like mostly null. Like, there's like a million other explanations now aside from like some magical mechanism by which fucking Killua can look at somebody, or characters in Hunter x Hunter can look at somebody and get an adequate gauge of their stats. So that shit's kind of
Yeah,
out the window. Flames also said that characters in Hunter x Hunter only use Nen as some sort of gauge to tell who's stronger in cases in which they're physically relative. Flames, the explanation as to why they would do this sort of thing is because if the raw physical gap is so great that Nen would not be able to overcome the gap, then it's non-relevant to look at the Nen at all. So the best, most charitable for your point that you're arguing in specific, this still loses you the thing, obviously. Most charitable for
Repeat
you,
what you just said, bro.
he looks at Pitou's. Please, mic down, son. So he looks at
I just
Pitou's.
cut out, nigga.
Are you mentally ill?
I cut
Okay.
out, nigga. Repeat it.
Okay. So what I was saying is, what you said is that people only do this sort of Nen gauging thing to tell who's stronger in a fight in cases which they're physically relative without Nen, right? I'm saying the reason by which you would do this is obviously going to only be in cases, or mainly be in cases in which the Nen that you have is not going to be able to overcome the gap that is already displayed in physicals, presumably. Because otherwise, then it would still be relevant in gauging who wins in a fight. Obviously, like if the Nen is something that could turn the tide despite the large physical gap, at the very least, in like some instances between two fighters, it wouldn't make any sense to overlook it completely. Like at most charitable for you, if you think he is just ignoring the Nen and only talking about the physical body, the basis for that would be that Nen is irrelevant because she is so far superior to him physically, which would be even worse because obviously she has like a very, very, very vast amount of Nen on top of that. So you kind of just cuck yourself even worse if you want to commit to that. Really, really stupid. You also mistracked the basis to why Netero would do this thing. I didn't say it's because he's really strong. You also like are really confused on what his Hatsu does. It's not renowned as strong because of its AP. It's renowned as strong because of its speed. It's like his whole gimmick is being really fast. But aside from you not having an understanding of the narrative, I said it's because he's experienced. He's been a hunter basically longer than anybody. I think not basically. I think he has been a hunter longer than everybody in the association. He's been to the Dark Continent, engaged in a retarded amount of fights, trained a retarded amount of time. It seems really weird to assume that this is a guy doing these weird, inefficient things without giving some motivation. So, which I just gave the motivation for, which kind of hose your point. It's just really bad. You didn't talk about the experience thing at all. You just kind of tried to cope it up by saying, "Oh, well, him being strong doesn't actually mean this." Really, really ass response. But yeah, that's really all there is. I don't think you guys have much else that you can offer either. So you guys can go, but we should be about done.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna respond first.
No, you're not gonna
All right,
respond.
bitch, go. You know what? Go.
All right. So basically, the first thing that needs to be established is that both of these scans take place before Netero's training, right? So if that is the case, right, then it would also be the case that, if this thing goes through, it would be applicable to both scans, right? Now, so let's go through the 85 burdens. So the first one is Netero is old. He can increase the amount of life force energy, or you don't know if he can. I think the potency is still relevant within fights, so that doesn't really matter. Next thing is, you said you asserted the possibility when training, if he's holding back to some amazing, great extent, then he wouldn't get like the full thing from the training or whatever. I don't think that would make any sense to say. I already brought up like how he knows how to train and what he is training for. So, given that, then this just doesn't make sense. And this interpretation of the story has no explanatory power, right? The next thing is Jesus Christ. The next thing is, he trains with the Zoldyx, right? So he trains with the Zoldyx. But if you actually read the scan and you don't just try to look it up in the scan server and find something that could maybe save you from, your burden, it says during times of emergency. Now I'm going to need you to cite some time of emergency before this, right? To say that he isn't rusty, right? So what is the time of emergency, right? That's the first thing. But there's another problem with this. The next problem with this would be, okay, well, when he is sparring these individuals, how strong are they? Are they really going to be able to get him fully prepared or partially prepared or whatever the fuck? I feel like there's something missing. Yeah, the next thing missing, the next thing that I didn't address was the thing about Pitou and Pitou holding his nin inside of the castle, because I wasn't talking about Netero holding his nin in, right? So you were saying like maybe the workload of the training decreased. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about Pitou taking his nin and holding it in, right? So, I mean, that doesn't really give any great amount of training or whatever, especially if he's suppressing it so much. It's like constantly using 2 or 3% of your effort. I don't know how much that's really going to help you. That's going to be some small thing. What else is there? Jesus Christ. I think that's it. And Flames can talk.
So
Oh my
let's
god.
go over all the burdens. So Z said I have reading issues. Cool. He pointed out how specialists have like a hard time learning other skills. Yeah, I mean that's true for literally every fucking Nen type, Dominic or bitch. They have hard times learning other skills. All other skills, like enhancers, for example, are sort of proficient in like emitting and transmuting, but they're like really, really bad at conjuring, I believe. And for the other stuff, so I'm just saying that specialists are like natural, by the way. They're best at the skills that are like closer to them on the hexagon and like shit at the ones further away from them. And they're like the same intervals, like same percentages as for like anyone else. For the other stuff, let me go to the scan you sent. I'm scrolling up. Okay. So Karapika says that his type doesn't matter because he's a specialist. And you tried saying this because like he knows every Nen type or whatever, but this can literally just be because since he's a specialist, they aren't like it. He literally says it in the scan. It doesn't give any information to what his ability is. Because enhancing, you can clearly say that what they do is they enhance their Nen. Transmuters, they change the quality of their Nen, etc., etc. But for specialists, they have like a wide range of abilities. Krolo, for example, can steal abilities. Neon can like write down like your futures or whatever. And there's like a like really wide ranges. Let me see. Let me read my notes, bro.
Wait, hold on. While
I
he's
mean,
doing that,
see.
there's one more thing. So you
Okay,
said
go
like
ahead, bro.
when Pitou was holding in that nin, that's gonna be like, that's gonna be taxing on her to restrict the nin or whatever to some degree in which she's like training or whatever the fuck. You said that for Netero. But since I was talking about Pitou, it would apply to him instead. I need you to prove that. That's like making the claim that constantly outputting 1% of your energy is more difficult than constantly outputting 100% of your energy, right? That just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I don't know why you said that. Flames.
Okay, so basically, C tried explaining what happened in the Kurapika and Uvogin fight. He said, they activate their Scarlet Eyes, then they use Emperor Time, then become a specialist. Then, because they're a specialist, they use their abilities, which is the fucking claim. Now, I'm gonna move on to the next thing, because like that's pretty obvious why that's dumb. Uvogin mentioning that he's surprised because Kurapika can use like all the other types this well does not mean shit, my nigga. Because or I'm not saying that. Anyways, I'm not saying that. This. I'm not saying that Kurapika is able to use all the other Nen types strictly because they have Scarlet Eyes. I'm thinking because their Scarlet Eyes and their restrictions, something that all of the other Kurta clan guys didn't have. They didn't have the restrictions. They only had the Scarlet Eyes. Like Uvogin's knowledge doesn't matter there. For the next thing, let me go to like my other. Okay, for my other notes for Gizbob stuff, they saw Hisoka kill 30 people in front of them. That's wrong. He can't send me a scan for that. Killua, he can't prove that Killua saw Hisoka kill him. Just that they saw the examiner's dead body. It's like, and that's enough to like confirm. That's enough to explain everything Killua said in the scan. He said he's killed and wants to kill again. He doesn't comment on his method of killing, just the fact that he's killed, which is enough to suggest how like malicious you are. For Gizbob mentioning how like Nen can like turn the tides or like make battles more favorable for you, that doesn't matter. I'm saying that it does that, but physical stats also do that, and like maybe like equally or like even better compared to Nen. So that doesn't really matter, and I don't even know why he brought that other interpretation. Him being experienced, I don't give a fuck if he's experienced, my nigga, unless his unless the main way he's fighting involves or like ties into him or like his job involves him sensing people's awe. Unless his job involves him like sensing people and like gauging their strength, that doesn't matter because he has like a pretty straightforward ability. He just summons this big ass boot and just claps people up. And, like I don't think there's like much of an escape there. It's stated that it's one of like the strongest abilities. Like, there's not really a way to escape it. It's
Bro,
actually it's stated that he has an unavoidable blow with it.
you're done. Okay, you're done. Sweet. We're gonna conclude really soon. There's some stuff I need to respond to. Free training, so not relevant. It's fucking ridiculous because the whole point is whether the training amplifies Netero in a way that's relevant to what me and Gizbob are talking about. His response to me saying that Nen is life force, and so I'm skeptical of whether he can actually increase his Nen amount, given that he's past his prime. He no longer has the life force to draw out. His life force is decreasing, not increasing with age. Was that potency still relevant within fights? No fucking clue. That's a response. He says him holding back his Ren output wouldn't make sense given what he's training for. But that presupposes that he's holding anything back. That presupposes that that's not his full Ren. I mean, we literally see him flex his Ren in front of Colt to ask him whether he can take on Meriwether, and he says like, no, one of the real guards are gonna fuck you up first. Is he holding it back there then too, right, to ask for an accurate gauge of his strength in relation to the king? I mean, I don't know, but obviously under our interpretation, he's not holding anything back, so pretty retarded. Um, and then you just showed like the whole audience you can't read. You tried to tell me that I can't read, that I just get scans from my scan server, which I don't fucking have, and that actually he only trains with them during emergencies. Just like common sense, like not even like reading aside, just common sense. Why would you train during an emergency? Surely you train before emergencies happen, and then like during the emergencies when you deal with the like, and maybe that's just me and like common sense, but like you just sound fucking retarded, bro. And then obviously if you read the scan, there's a comma in between the two. So what it actually says is 12 top hunters handpicked by the chairman. Besides managing the association during emergencies, comma, they must make themselves available for sparring in his free time. So yeah, you can't fucking read. Nothing you said actually responds. Peter holds Nen in. I don't know why that's fucking relevant to what anyone is saying at all. Don't even remember saying that. Constantly outputting 1% is more difficult than outputting 100%. Also never fucking said that. It's obvious that the other one is true. That's the whole point. Outputting 100% is more difficult, so it's going to lead to you progressing more than outputting 1%. You can ask anyone that goes to the gym, Yanni, Suzuki, etc. If you go to the gym, you lift 1 kg weights, you're not getting any fucking gains. You're supposed to lift the weights that will progressively overload you, which is usually at your peak, like the most you can lift or whatever, for a few reps. Sweet. I think we've got to the end of truths, gibberish nonsense. Then Flames, he just fucking mistracks like a fool. The whole point of the scan is that it states verbatim the opposite. It states that specialists do not have difficulty learning any other NEN category, right? Not that they do have difficulty, they do not have difficulty, right? And the reason why they do not have difficulty is because they do not specialize in any particular type of NEN. Rather, they can do any type of NEN. They're versatile in that way. You didn't answer the question either about what NEN category they'd have on the grid, right? They wouldn't be enhancers specifically because they wouldn't have difficulty learning emissive abilities. They wouldn't be emitters though because they wouldn't have difficulty learning enhancing abilities according to the scan. It just seems like they perfectly mesh with any ability, right? Which is what we're saying. They can use any ability without any difficulty. The reason why enhancers struggle to use emissive abilities, for example, is because when enhancers use emissive abilities, because they're so like contrary to each other and opposed to each other, they have more difficulty in manipulating the aura in that manner. So you're a retard. You also conceded. You said that the reason why the Carter clan don't have the specialist or don't have the specialist stuff, despite having Scarlet Eyes, is because of the conditions. But that's the whole fucking point, you dumb nigger bitch. The whole fucking point is that Emperor Time is the cause, right? Emperor Time is what gives him specialization, not just merely having the Scarlet Eyes. So you just fucking conceded. Obviously, it's Emperor Time. Emperor Time is the condition created, whereas every second he has it is an hour of his life, and that's what makes him a specialist. That's the fucking drawback, nigger. So you conceded. It's not the claim anymore, so you fucking conceded to it. And then you gibber about how they didn't see Soki kill the examiners, but they did, right? They all comment on it and they all
Yo,
ran
I'm not
away.
gonna lie, bro. Yo, it's way over an hour. Y'all gotta
Yeah,
wrap
can
this
we
shit
wrap
up.
up?
Let's get
Yeah,
it going.
lovely,
Yeah,
gently. So
type
like,
shit.
Yeah, bro.
wait, I'm gonna say something else really, really quickly before I wrap up because it's a new point. It's just one more point.
Oh
I'm
shit! I
actually
don't get to respond to my stuff. That's not
uh,
fun.
what's it called? He like under our interpretation of what Netero is doing, it makes perfect sense how he's training. Because he's training to use the zero hand against the king. So it makes sense for him to train his aura control. It makes sense for him to not train his potency because A, we're not even clear on whether potency can be trained at that point of your life where you don't have any more life force. Same with like when you're really fucking old, can you really put on that much more muscle? Or should you really be trying to maintain the muscle you already have? Type shit. So it just makes more sense that he's trying to fucking control his fucking Nen more, I think. Yeah, I think we can conclude. I feel like this is a bunch of repetition. Unless
Alright,
Giz
bro.
wants to say something.
I'll literally address one
All right,
thing,
bro.
bro.
I'll
Just
go
one
first,
thing.
Flames.
Hey,
Just don't beg it
please.
too
Yeah,
hard.
fuck
No,
you,
no, no,
fuck
no.
you,
Wait,
bro.
see, did you send the shit that he was talking about where Flames retarded ass said that you can't prove that they saw Hisoka kill the 30 people while they stare at Hisoka kill the
Kilua,
30
not
people?
All
that.
right.
Yeah,
Kilua. I
yeah.
said Kilua. I said Kilua.
You
The
didn't
thing
track
is
the reason
that
as to why you'd have knowledge on
Killua,
this anyways,
Killua,
but I'm
Killua is
not gonna help you.
standing. Killua is standing next to Gon and Hanzo. That's the whole point. It
Yeah,
shows
just
that.
send that. Just
He's
send that so
standing.
they don't have anything else. They've like yet to have they given any real responses like for a while? I think it's been like 3 cycles
Yeah,
without a real
Well,
response.
can you? Okay, hold the phone. Okay, look. I'm gonna just say two things. Then truth, you can talk.
Actually,
First,
wait, no, you have
Vogue.
access to the scans.
Anyways,
Fucking
Vogue
loser.
is nowhere near the site at which where Hisoka shoots the guy with like
Explain.
cards or whatever.
Prove it. Prove
Okay.
it. Prove it. Prove it.
Actually, I'm not gonna say nowhere near. I'm just gonna say he's not in the panel, so you can't prove that you actually saw it.
He stated he saw it. They all run away from the same
If they
fucking
saw his
direction.
dead
Dumb
body, did
nigga.
they see him kill him?
They run away from the
They
same
run
direction.
away and
How would they know?
specifically attribute it to Hisoka, by the way.
And
Did
how would they
Did
know
they
that?
run again? Did they run away because they saw the dead body after he was
They
killed,
would know the dead
or
body was
because
Hisoka's doing, you fucking low elo bitch.
what the fuck
Sorry.
did you
You're
just
good,
do,
kid.
bro? I was speaking. Repeat.
Wait, hold on. Wait. I think this is even irrelevant. I don't even think that Killua needs to see it just to speed stuff up, right? Like for example, if I'm like walking down the street and I see like 9 dead bodies with like fist marks in their faces, and I see the nigga that did it, I would assume he's pretty fucking calm. I don't need to see the fucking guy beat them up. I just need to know that he beat 9 niggas on his own.
Yeah,
Right? So
they're all dead with cards in their body, Flames, which I already talked about earlier. For one, presumably they discussed
He
this thing.
hasn't
For two, they
seen.
already have the
Oh my
basis.
dude.
So
Oh my
he
dude.
doesn't have to see it. This would be the basis.
No,
It
no,
doesn't
no.
matter
Shut
whether or
the
not he
fuck up,
saw it.
bro. Fuck up, bro. Fuck up, bro.
Don't
Shut.
do that.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the chapter. Okay, what's the chapter? Those like all the people.
9.
Chapter 8, chapter 9, bro. Can we move on? Like, fuck, man.
No, fuck you, bro. Shut the fuck up.
All right. My only thing is like, for the thing
Yeah,
about.
just take my talking time, bro. Nah,
All right,
I
bro.
found the
I'm
chapter.
pretty
I
sure
found the
there's like
chapter.
a direct statement made
Nah,
about like
nah,
how
bro.
Netero
Nah, shut the
is
fuck up, bro.
rusty
Fuck
at
up,
that
bro.
time.
Fuck up, bro.
Um,
Fuck up,
wait,
bro.
wait,
And he's
chill,
presenting new evidence when he knows that we're at the time limit. Well done.
bro.
Okay.
Yo,
No,
I'm
I'm
about
just
to,
saying.
I'm about
No,
to moderate truth debate for truth, bro. All right,
bro,
go
it's
ahead.
literally a response. Like I can't like have it conclude without me giving a response to something. But anyways,
Wait,
so
can I
you were
just say
like,
quickly
okay,
that
I read it wrong. Um, okay. So for one, it could be that they're making themselves available for sparring in his free time for something for him to do if he gets bored or something. We know Netero's like I'm so serious. Netero, listen, Netero's a goofy guy, right? That's the
Netero's a
first
boy,
thing.
man.
For two, it could simply just be the case it's some physical fitness thing, staying in shape. But and then for three, even if I grant that they are sparring in the free time, right? It could just be the opponents in which he is sparring against, right? So if I were to talk to you all day about debating, maybe that's good sparring, right? We both improve. But if I were to go talk to Mortified all day about debating, right, I wouldn't really gain anything because the guy's like not that smart, not that bright. He's not really like you get what I'm saying, right? You don't really gain much benefit or maintain your skill when you're going against people much worse.
Wallah, he subbed this, bro.
I guess, bro. Now I'm gonna respond. So look, they said some pretty dumb stuff.
Jesus.
First, see forward the scan where they say that specialists don't have difficulty in learning the other den types. Second,
He already explained it and gave you the argument. The scan is in Scan's chat. Keep going.
okay, bro. Which one, bitch?
The one where Karapika elaborates and or says specifically, "Hey, I don't have any issue learning any sort of ability
Which
because I'm
one?
a specialist."
There's like two of them.
There isn't. If you think there's two scans that evidence that claim, then you can respond to both.
No, there's
Bro,
two of them where Kropika speaking, dumbass.
bro. Oh my god.
Oh,
Wait, can you just tell me which one it is instead of being
Hey,
you
No,
Flames,
don't
are you
tell
ready
him,
to
bro.
conclude?
Don't tell him, please. Just let's move on, bro, please.
Okay. I'm gonna look for the scan myself then. It's fine.
we've had like 5 chances to
I'm
track
gonna
this.
leave the server and I'm gonna dox truth and I'm
Oh,
gonna
if
dox
it's a cut, I already addressed that. Um, let me go into the Hisoka stuff. So they see, um, he can't prove that Killua ever sees like the 9 people that like Hisoka takes out. By the way, maybe Killua knows that Hisoka killed one guy. I don't think he saw it. And I'm gonna explain. Further because I know that you responded to that. So
Oh my god.
the analogy where if you have like someone who like if like 9 corpses on the ground and like fist marks in the mall, there's some guy there you're gonna assume he's comp, but he doesn't know the means that he killed him with. Like I
Cards
don't
in the
really get
body,
that.
bro. Cards in the fucking body. Let's
Yeah,
move
of course in the
on. Don't
fucking body.
listen.
Did he catch him off guard? Actually, he did catch him off guard. Does Killua think he caught him off guard or that he beat him in a fair fight? Because he knows nothing about Hisoka, by the way.
Wallahi, how do you catch 9 niggas off guard, bro? Like, you must be a
Oh, he
fucking
killed one
shinobi.
nigga, dumbass. Killua doesn't know that he's killed 9 niggas.
They
Oh
literally
my
see the
fucking
corpses.
Yo,
god, bro.
go and sees it, bro. Leorio sees it. Does Killua?
Oh my
Killua
All
isn't
of
with them
them
here, by
god.
the way.
are
Killua isn't
there,
with them
you
here.
fucking moron.
What
And they
the
run
fuck
away
did
together
Deja
immediately
say?
following this. Please just read the chapter.
Oh, bro, I didn't even hear what he said because I might cut out.
Bro, it doesn't matter. So anyways, I
Following the
think like
wait, this
if
guy's a
y'all still
fucking
want to
idiot, bro.
conclude,
Following the chapter, they don't do that shit. They go cooking,
wait.
bro.
Wait,
If y'all
are we
still
giving
want to,
like additional arguments at the end since you guys
No,
wanted
it's
to do
fine,
that?
it's
Can
fine.
I give
Wait,
one?
let's
I have a
conclude
really
that.
fun one.
Let's conclude. I don't care.
Okay.
Wait. Before, chill. Fucking hell. I just want to say one more, like, small fucking response to what you said. Bro, I mean, yeah, man, Netero can train to get bored, but we also know he's the chairman of the Hunter Association. And but given that he's the chairman of the Hunter Association, he has an obligation to defend the Hunter Association in the event of an emergency. And so it makes sense for him to also train to keep himself in shape, which also contradicts the rustiness shit that you were talking about. Clearly, he's not fucking rusty. Also, like, why would he hire people to train him if they just don't benefit him physically? Like, it's just a bunch of retarded stuff. Also, it could just be both of those things. It could be both him being bored, him wanting to stay in shape, him wanting to get stronger, maintain his strength, etc., etc. Anyways, Look, I mean,
Wait. Can you invite me to the scan server here and see?
bro, there's no
There's
scans of
clearly just a direct statement about him being like rusty. It's not really much to argue about. I just didn't feel like it.
You can't fight it. You can't fight it.
In chapter
Bitch, my nigga.
202.
But don't
Okay.
be head ass something.
Did they scale Netero anywhere, by the way?
Wallahi, no, bro. Wallahi, didn't
Okay.
skill though. Bro, they have no scan
Oh,
sense.
bro, we didn't even have to use the little scaling chain, bro. They don't know. They don't know about the
But
chain.
yeah, and also one thing to respond to Flames is like, bro, Gon and Killua run away together, and then fucking Hisoka shows up, and Killua hides in the mist, and then afterwards he pops out again. Just read chapters 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See that?
Alright,
Anyway,
bro. He's not
to
gonna
conclude,
sneak that in. Okay.
anyways,
We'll go to the
to
chapter.
conclude,
He gets lost. Wait, he gets lost in the mist, bro. Where does he go? Prove he's hiding
Killua
in the
gets
bushes
lost
here.
in the mist, bro. Killua, the fucking guy with like really fucking good sensory perception, is training.
Trained
They got
assassin
lost in the mist
gets lost in a
prior, so
fucking small
probably
cloud of mist.
Brother,
they
he
got
just
lost.
chat
This
shit all
literally
the
like a
time.
chapter. Like Gizbob would know this if he fucking read the scan instead of just being
Man,
dickhead all day.
where in chapter? Where is bro?
Matter of fact, I'm
Stop
fucking dumb. Bro. I'm
talking,
fucking dumb.
man.
You're off the
Stop
stage,
fucking,
Gizbob. You're off the
brother.
stage.
Where in chapter 9 does he get lost
I'm
in
not
the
fucking
mist?
in chapter 9.
There's not even a mist in chapter
Prior,
9.
when they're running and they initially the mist, Kilo gets lost. But can you address like the initial thing, bro? Also, you brought up the mist. What the fuck?
I mean, the mist doesn't appear in the chapter I'm talking about.
Oh my god, bro! What chapter does he kill him at the end? Does he kill the 9 guys at the end of chapter 8?
Brother, still talking to me, bro. Like, fucking fuck off, bro. Mums.
Yeah, just don't answer. Don't answer.
Also, they could just tell him about Hisoka, right?
Yeah, I
Killua
brought
could
that
just
up like
They
5 fucking
don't.
turns ago, and they didn't track
They
it.
don't tell him about this like really formidable enemy that they just see. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
I want to
Flames,
conclude.
mind
Oh,
you,
all right.
They
mind you,
might
they have to
they might
engage in
tell
a
him
tournament
that
at
they
the end
killed.
of this, in which they're going to
I want to.
engage on one-on-one battles. So it does seem intuitive to
I
warn
want
the
to
people about
conclude.
somebody who's going to be strong in a one-on-one
I want
battle.
to
You do
conclude.
understand that,
I
right?
want to.
What did you just say, bro? He
All
was
right, bro.
speaking.
Track.
Okay.
I want to
Okay, yeah, just say
conclude, bro.
track. Just say track. It's fine. It's fine. Now I'm gonna respond to
I
C
want to,
instead. Look, okay,
bro.
I'll
Can I
conclude after this.
fucking
We can conclude after this. We can conclude after
fuck
this.
Zuki? I'm
So
gonna
I'm gonna
destroy
say,
Bro, why do they
everything.
think they get the last word?
really. Wait, Sakazuki, they're just yelling, bro. What the fuck?
Okay. You know what?
That's
At
yelling.
Sakazuki,
Yo,
if they don't
bro,
stop,
like
we're gonna.
Flames, do you have something relevant to say, bro? Is this
Yes,
something
I
about
have
something
something
that's already
relevant to
been
say,
said? Wait, hold on,
Bro,
Sakazuki.
bro.
I'll
I have
make
something
Wait,
this
relevant to
debate
bro.
last
say.
for 3 hours, bro.
Yes, I
I'll
have
make this
relevant.
Hold
debate
on,
last for three
pause,
hours,
bro.
bro.
Is it something? Is it something new, or is
Yes,
it
it's.
something that's okay? Then no. Like
I also
we're
have
way
something
over the
old. Wait, what the
time.
fuck?
You're not adding something new. You're
I'll
not
make this
adding
debate
something.
last
They
for
added
4
something
hours,
new. What the
bro.
fuck? They added something new, Sakazuki.
Can't lie, bro. Don't talk
No, we
Sakazuki like
didn't.
that, bro.
Everything that C
They
said was
just
stuff that
wait.
I
Shut the
brought
fuck
up
up, nigga.
previously. It's going to be on the recording,
Yeah,
Flames.
you're
You
muted,
just need
bitch.
to learn to
Now
track.
look, what they added that
All right,
was
I have
new.
something to address that hasn't
What
already
they
like
added,
enough.
what they
All right, bro. I have something to address that like it's not new. It's just something that was said about something that was already going on. All right,
bro.
so for the idea
No,
about
no.
him having some sort of
I'm going.
obligation, shut
Stop.
up, Flame.
Wait.
Jesus
Can I
Christ.
respond? Can I say?
I'm disconnecting him, bro. He has to go. All right. Jesus Christ, bro. All right. So what I have to say about the thing, you were like, okay, there's some obligation for him to stay in shape, considering the fact that he has to protect the Hunter Association. Well, yeah, I think there is a bit of an obligation there, right? But when we talk about staying in shape, we know that physicality and Nin are both important things to go over, right? So I'm saying that, these people can match him physically. Okay, let's say he's going in there, matching him physically every day, right? I don't really think that is conducive for the Nin portion of it all, right? So when we talk about some holistic sense of training that would keep him fully in shape, in tip-top shape and condition, right? I don't know if that's what he's going through, especially considering that he said he's at the level of like Nav and Morel and those guys, right? So if he's maintaining his peak strength, which we see, like when he goes back up and when he starts training seriously, when he puts on his outfit or whatever, like that's another part of the narrative. When he does that, we see he's significantly stronger than Morel and Nav, correct? So like that would just
Yeah.
lend credence to the
Yeah.
idea that he's not
Right.
fully training to his maximum capabilities. You also said yourself during this debate, you don't know if he could get much, much stronger than like, or if he could get any stronger than his prime, right? So the idea that he's just training back up instead of actually getting stronger.
see.
Yeah, I
Shut
mean, look,
fuck up.
Sakazuki,
No,
is it possible?
bitch. No, we're not
Bro,
done. We're not
shut
done.
the
We're not
fuck
done, bro.
up,
I'm at 3 minutes. I
man.
got my 3 minutes. Fuck up, bro. I'll better respond to something they just said, Sakazuki. They just said, okay? It's a response. I'm not adding something new. listen, they just brought up. They just pretty much asked me why wouldn't Killua tell Gon, Theorio, and Kurapika tell Killua about this formidable guy. I grant that they might have told him that what's the guy's name? He killed like 9 guys. I don't know why they would tell him the means. Cause wait, was Gon even there when he killed the 9 guys? No, the fuck he wasn't, bitch.
He was.
Alright,
You
so
got the likelihood
wait,
increaser. You got the
No,
basis why
no.
this would be
Recap
wait,
that.
relayed.
Recap that.
And
Recap
this,
that. Recap that. Recap
irrespective
that.
of
Recap
anything
that.
that you
Recap
just
that.
said, it
Recap
still
that.
responds to your initial claim, which apparently you forgot about. But
wait.
you can
So
go
I
ahead,
just want
see.
to say something.
Okay. Let's conclude.
So
Let's
I
conclude.
I
Let's conclude.
spoke.
Let's conclude. Let's conclude. Let's
I'm gonna
conclude.
mute this guy. So I said to Sakazuki, like, bro, I don't like being disrespected, bro. I come into the server, I debate for you, yeah? Fucking 1:30 or 2 a.m., bro. I have school tomorrow, bro. Wallahi, if I'm not allowed to respond to what they just said, we're not gonna leave this VC. 4 hours, bro. I'm not going to go to sleep
Respond,
tonight.
respond. You can respond, bro. You can respond. Go
Understand?
ahead, bro.
I'll keep everyone here 4 hours, bro. Mum's left. Wallahi, billah. It's like Quran, Khalil. I'll keep everyone here, bro. Do you understand? I don't fucking play that, bro.
I understand, bro. I understand.
Cool, bro. Look,
Yeah.
yes, bro.
No.
You're not feeling, bro. Fuck off, bro. Look, response, man. Netero is an old fucking grandpa, so like, stop bringing up physicals because he's fucking old, decrepit. Um, you might also question like, how's Netero alive for so long? I think that's relevant because he uses 10 to keep himself alive. If you read in VC scans, it says 10 is the technique that contains it within the body, toughening it and maintaining its youthful vigor. Right. So how has Netero been alive for so long? How does he look so much younger than he should be, etc.? He was like 50 years ago. He's still light on his feet, can still walk, still jump around. He's obviously 10, right? 10 is a matter of controlling your aura. So when Netero is training to maintain himself, it makes more sense for him to train his aura control, not his aura potency. Especially because he's not gonna get any fucking more aura. He's fucking old. I already gave the analogy of the fucking muscles, my boy. If you're a kid or like teenager, you're gonna train for muscles because like you still have cells that can fucking convert into muscle cells that you can fucking use. But bro, when you get older, you start losing that shit. You can't fucking make more. Makes no sense anymore for you to fucking train like that. It makes more sense for you to train to maintain, my nigga. So yeah, did fucking what's it called, bro? Did they see Hisoka kill the niggas? Yes. Like what the fuck? What? Like yes, they did. They watch him. They watch him fuck up Leorio, bro. They watch him kill a nigga. They don't watch him fuck up Leorio. Like I don't know what else you want to say. Like, and Killua smells him, says that he's like him. He's fucking him, bro. So like, I don't even understand. It makes a lot of sense for them to fucking communicate and share information about this fucking crazy guy that's killing niggas and wants their bum, wants their booty. And is there anything else that this fucking truth guy said that I need to respond to, man? Um, the fucking t-shirt thing. He wears the t-shirt for a mentality change when he's fighting like a really strong opponent. The sparring thing, yeah, sparring I guess can keep you in tip-top shape, but you can also spar with the usage of Nen. Dumb fucking nigger bitch retard autistic dumb fuck bigger bitch motherfucking nigger bitch retard dumb fucking nigger bitch. So obviously it makes no sense that he's fucking training with Nen rather than without Nen. Why the fuck would he train without Nen? Like why the fuck would he do that shit, my nigga? Why the fuck?
All right, bro. Let me.
Okay. Bro, enough
Well,
for you, bro. Enough for you.
you
All
went
right.
first
So
last time. You went
we're
first
just
last time.
saying Netero's old and he uses 10 to maintain like the life force or whatever to look younger than he is, blah blah blah. Like the totality, so the amount of life force can be maintained, but I think there is a distinction that we see early on in the series between potency and amount of the life force, right? Let's see what else he said.
Early Liberator doesn't
Yeah,
respond. So
bro,
no
gibberish.
response.
Netero's physicality. Like Pat, yeah, I'm just saying he's training to stay in good physical shape, and you're like, well, it takes a lot, and he needs to train to maintain Nen too. It would make more sense. Well, I don't know if there's a lot of people who can make him fully utilize his Nen, right? We know that he's a top 100 and
He
still
can train
considered
alone.
the
He trains alone
strongest
on the
100
mountain.
by a decent
Wait,
large
why is
margin,
C interrupting? What the fuck,
right?
Suki? Do
And when you
something.
I
say
don't agree.
Morel
I
and
don't
Nav,
agree to moderation.
Morel and Nav, right? They aren't a part of
See,
the
there's
Zodiac,
auto
so none of
moderation,
that.
bro.
Dumb nigger.
Yeah, those
I
guys
don't
Yo,
aren't a
agree
part
with
of the
bro,
this.
Flame,
zodiac.
shut
Dumb
up
fuck,
too,
right?
bro. See,
So
the part of the rules of the tournament is there's moderation. Stop interrupting him.
Wallahi, change the rules, bro. I'm not
yeah,
talking.
those
I'm
guys
not
aren't a
playing
part
around.
of the zodiacs, right?
All
So it doesn't
right,
really
bro.
matter,
Continue, True.
right? So he's sparring them, keeping up physically, right? That doesn't necessitate that he's using all his nen capable. I just gave reason, right? His strength relative to others as to why he wouldn't be using all of his nen and practicing constantly controlling all that nen, things of that nature, right? And then 10, I guess, because you might loop it back to 10. I don't know why 10 has to like keeping 10 constantly kind of flowing has to involve like using every single ounce of your like all of your nen. It could just be controlling like a little bit, keeping it flowing constantly. So it doesn't have to train crazily.
Oh my days, bro. Okay. Now I'm gonna start. Look, he he's just
Oh my
wrong, bro. We're all
fucking
look. This is what happened. This
god,
is what
bro.
happened. This is what
Bro,
happened.
Sakazuki, when is this gonna stop? By the way, like, can we just go
Sakazuki,
back and
bro.
forth forever? Because these
Why is he
guys just
speaking, bro? Why is he
they're like
speaking?
dragging it out to
Look,
get beat down.
the issue, bro. The issue is right. Is I wasn't here the entire time. Yanni was supposed to be moderating. Apparently, there was no actual moderation. None of the rules were followed. I don't know what are new points and what aren't fucking new points. So like, I
Well, I
can't really
did
do
talk
much
Are
to
because
we
it's
him.
allowed to
unfair to
finish every existent point? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yes.
Bro, these guys are gonna
I
stall
like
us for another fucking hour just getting
Let me
beat
tell you
down.
something, bro. Let me tell you something, bro.
what do you?
I don't have
I don't
play
know
tomorrow.
what you
This nigga
want me
C
to do,
does.
bro. Like I can't like because if I end it on your guys' turn, right? Flames and Truth are gonna be upset. If
Please,
I
bro.
end it on Flames Truth's turn, you guys are gonna be upset because it's gonna be something you didn't respond to, right? Like I don't know what you want me to do. Blame Yanni, bro. Yanni was supposed to be moderating. I told him to fucking moderate.
Just let them, bro. Flames and Truth, can you guys fucking concede? We've
No,
lost every
fuck
point for
no,
over
bitch.
an hour.
Fuck you, nigga. Fuck up, bitch. I'm gonna respond right
I'm
now.
winning my
Yeah,
point.
fuck it, bitch. Listen, what I'm gonna say is C is a fucking liar. All he did was just say the negation of what I said. Then he tried saying that Gon saw Hisoka beating up Dorio. That's wrong. When Gon shows up, all we see. Hisoka gets behind Leorio, Gon shows up. That's it. We don't see Hisoka. We don't know if Gon sees Hisoka beating the shit out of that nigga. This guy's an idiot.
You
You
done,
can speak to me.
kid?
Yeah, I'm done, boy.
Who are you calling boy, bro?
I just want to say that I hereby fucking declare, bro, this debate's not ending anytime soon. Yeah, I'm fucking
Okay,
standing at the beginning. Yeah, because I gave
that's
niggas a chance,
so we'll
bro.
do
I
it, man.
gave Sakazuki a chance, bro. And Sakazuki, if you don't judge this debate by fucking Tuesday, bro, wallahi, you're gonna hate who I become, bro. I'm even tearing up because I can feel it in my soul. I'm gonna
Wait,
fucking
why
take you
not? Why
down,
not
bro.
just say fuck the rules? Let me add a new argument. Let me get a new chain going, Sakazuki. Let me get a
So
new
I'm
chain
saying
going.
multiple simultaneous chains going on, bro. Multiple scaling. Look, let me tell you something, bro. In response to the truth, I can't lie. Truth is actually like kind of dog shit, bro. Like I hate to say, I mean, I didn't think he's even said anything I need to respond to. I mean, let me think. Yeah. Netero can train alone. The whole point is that if he wants to maintain his fucking strength, nigger, it makes more sense for him to train his Nen because Nen allows you to maintain your youthful vigor. It's why characters that are really fucking old don't really look that old in Hunter x Hunter. Okay, that's the fucking reason, bro. It makes no sense for him to go and spar for that purpose. I think he's sparring, he's physically in shape, right? He's physically like, what's it called? Like raw physicals in shape and fucking maintaining that shit. And also like his skill as a martial artist and stuff. I don't think he's sparring to maintain his strength in Pligator. I think a large majority of that comes from his Nen control, buddy. So that's one. Um
Wait,
the teeth
see, did Truth make the claim that Netero is attempting to get back to his prime earlier? I'm pretty sure he said that, right?
I think so, but like that's obviously false because
He does
when
understand
Netero
that
is
that just
training,
can't happen, right? Because of his age, like his
yeah,
physical body will never, ever, ever get back to what it was, right? Surely.
exactly. He's aged. He's
He
aged,
has
and
less
as you
life force,
age,
a less quantity, and then
Yeah,
Weak in physical
exactly.
body. There's not even a point in talking about this. The only thing that he can maintain at fucking all is the Nen. He cannot stop his body from physically deteriorating. All he can do is slow it.
Exactly. And exactly, and you know what's also interesting as well is like we see Netero train in his prime. We know how he trains when he wants to get stronger, when he wants to reach a new limits of strength, right? When he trains in his prime, he's fucking punching niggas in the mountains and shit, fucking bringing his enhancement to the limits and shit. Whereas now he's training, he's just fucking meditating with his aura. I think he's just trying to make his aura more precise, man. I don't think he's trying to fucking increase his fucking overall power because we don't see him train the same way he did in his prime. Just want to flames. You are like I don't even know. Like you're a fucking specimen. I'm looking at the panels right now. Okay, looking at the panels. I'm looking at the panels. Looking at the panels. Looking at the panels. Soka's beating the fuck out of the guy. Gon interrupts that boy. Does he not? Does he not interrupt the boy? Like I don't know if I should stream or what. Like he interrupts the guy. Chapter 9 interrupts him. You see the POC sound effect on the fishing line. And then matter of fact, let me just send this in general, bro. Because this is fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't even, hold on, can I even save this? Alhamdulillah. And then save this. Sorry, guys, I'm going to take my time as well because guys want me to fucking sleep, bro. Like, I have school tomorrow. I'm waking up in 4 hours' time, 5 hours' time. No one's leaving this fucking stage. But you guys can leave, but Sakazuki, you're not leaving. True Flames, if
Did
you
Flames
leave,
continue on with the Gon not seeing the like Hisoka shit point, or did he drop that already? Because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't paid
Oh,
attention to
drop
anything
his
that
shit,
they said.
yo,
Of like,
look,
yes,
look, look,
the
look.
irrelevant point.
Just look in general, okay? So this is the sequence of events. So this is Gon staring directly at Ahsoka after hitting him with the fishing pole, right? So he fucking saw him, you dumb fucking artist, right? This is afterwards. They stare at each other, right? They're looking at each other. They talk to each other. Then Leora is behind him. He throws a punch, and then this is what Ahsoka does to him, right? Ahsoka fucking folds that nigga, man. Fucking folds that nigga, man. So when you say Gon didn't see that nigga get beat up, you just fucking lying to me, nigga, man. You fucking lying with your bean head ass, boy. You feel me? So that's that point. Done with. Feel me? They see, and then Gon's obviously gonna tell that nigga Killua about this shit because they just talk about everything. They're like best friends. Like, imagine you have a school fight, bro, and someone gets beat the fuck up, and you don't tell them, like, oh my days, bro, like they beat, like, come on, and also just strategically advantageous, and causally efficacious. So yeah, that's that. Pretty sure you responded to that stuff. Um, so yeah, I think I've explained why C Hedges and Gizbob mistracks Crazy Wreck. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to decide. I'm just gonna run a poll slash poll.
Incredibly ironic, incredibly embarrassing.
Should
Oh,
I
Truth,
give
truth
them?
in saying that I mistracked what the response was meant to,
Gizbob lost
talk
twice
about.
to truth. How the
No,
fuck's
because
that?
All right. So
All
like,
right, bro. It's not. I think
I
it's my
wasn't,
turn.
I wasn't done. I
My
so
turn.
wasn't done. I
C,
wasn't done. I wasn't
It's been
done.
three
I
minutes.
wasn't
It's been
done.
3 minutes. It's been three
Wait, why did
minutes.
these guys think it was their turn to talk? Because I
I
talked?
wasn't.
It's
I
three
wasn't
minutes.
done.
Don't
You guys
fool.
get
I
really
wasn't
confused?
done. We're not doing 3-minute timers,
I don't know
bro.
where you
You
got
guys
the
need
idea of
to
3 minutes from. You guys spoke more than 3 minutes in
yeah.
your last turn to
No,
speak.
we
It
didn't,
really
bitch. No, we
confused.
didn't, bitch. No, we didn't,
It was
bro.
Yo,
definitely
yo,
the
bro.
Let me
claim.
buy real quick,
Can you
bro.
evidence it?
Let me tell you something, bro. Stop that shit now, okay? So I remember when I was debating Infinity. I remember I was debating Infinity and Westbound, and they did this where they were just talking bears. So I've decided to do something similar where I'm just gonna talk bears, you know. So I'm just gonna give like an exposition for why I think Peter, why I think Netero does not beat Peter. So like a second line of scaling you can use is just that Netero is relative to Nove, right? Stated by Netero himself, he's relative to Nove in strength. Nove does not disagree at all with that assessment. And, you know, Nove just cucks down to Gon and Killua. He's like, how have you guys seen that thing, Peter, and have the strength to face it again? How do you guys do that? Right, so he fucking cucks down, fucking Gon and Killua, and then Gon and Killua, or Killua specifically, fucking cucks the fuck down to Peter, right?
Yo. Don't make a new line of scaling, by the way. That's gonna
Don't
make
ever
Oh,
me.
wait,
lie
no, but
fucking
there's like
thing,
some
bro.
supplementary information that I think should be relevant as well that I'm going to get into after C finishes. So
Yeah, so Yanni, just fucking chillax there, okay? Stand down, bro. Simmer down, buddy.
Yeah, I'm
Bro,
just saying,
same.
I didn't do that, and it's gonna be bad for the debate, bro. No new lines, bro.
I'm not going, bro. These niggas don't want me to sleep, bro. So I'm not fucking sleeping, bro. What? I asked them conclude 40 minutes ago. They don't want to fucking conclude. We're gonna do this thing.
Can I speak, bro?
No, bro. So as I was saying, I'm just gonna
Just give
give.
the supplementary stuff, but like no new lines. That'd be pretty
No, I'm
bad.
not done
Okay,
talking,
so,
bro.
Wait, I
or,
Okay,
think
wait, you're done
yeah.
talking. Wait, no. I have something to finish. So
Wait,
supplementarily
he's
to what
not.
C was saying, whereas it seems pretty consistent with the narrative that Pitou would be stronger than Netero. It's evidence pretty clearly that Pitou's not able to be damaged by Netero. As not only did she take the guy's attacks pretty casually, she also was able to take an attack from Bloodlusted Miriam, who just does scale above Netero. Obviously, just beats the guy to death on panel. So I hope you guys have fun addressing every bit of that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah,
I
Should be a
wasn't
good
done
time.
with it.
bro,
Let me
yeah.
just pick up where we left off. So yeah,
Truth,
it's
you can
interesting.
go over
So
like the stuff you want to go over
I
first.
wasn't
Then
done.
I'll
Wait, he's
talk.
not
I
Then
done.
wasn't done.
You
oh,
need the
you're
mic
not done?
down.
I
Oh,
wasn't
fucking
done.
cop. He's stuck.
I wasn't done. Wasn't done. So Netero uses his signature attack against Peter, right? Like the really fast one that he's been honing, the one that he uses to attack Meruem to start with. He uses that attack, and Peter like Loki takes it, and then and then jumps back, without like any visible signs of damage, which kind of just reinforces what we're saying as evidence that's expected under the hypothesis that Peter has more Nen, because we can develop both of these competing hypotheses within like some sort of like Bayesian lens, right? We can say something like, okay, like let's just suppose for a second that these hypotheses have equal priors, which they fucking don't, because if the background information is a series, we really explain how the series confers more justificatory, weight to our hypothesis rather than yours. Just for the sake of analogy, let's just say that they do have equal priors. The evidence that Pitou is able to withstand Netero's fucking attack is far more expected under the hypothesis that Pitou has way more Nan than Netero does. You guys can explain how Pitou's able to fucking face tank the attack, but otherwise, maybe you're gonna say something like, "Oh, maybe Netero holds back or something." I mean, that's retarded because why would Netero hold back against the ants? Um, it doesn't make any sense. Like he
He
wants to
explicitly
kill
speaks
them.
about killing the ants. Yeah.
Yep, that's like his whole character: kill the ants, ants are better than humans, etc.
Okay.
Ants.
Oh, see, you forgot to mention as well that all of these things that we brought up happened
Yeah.
prior to the postmortem amp, which obviously we've already established is like a significant amp to physical ability and your NEN capacity and NEN usage. So it just makes it even worse.
Yeah, exactly. Post-mortem man. But I already explained with like the succession arc that I think it's Camilla where she dies, but then she gets a post-mortem man. She can like one-shot niggas, kill them niggas. You feel me? Kill them niggas. You feel me? Kill them niggas. You feel me? You feel me? And then what was it as well about the yeah, Peter tanks the attack. And Naira just kind of sucks. I mean, what happens when Peter uses type of Shora and like jumps and like fucking takes
Doesn't she
off?
tank the attacks without her the use of her Hatsu, which again seems another physical amp?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Saka's gonna force me to judge. Can you guys like chill? Like, but like, I mean,
Exactly, bro. They're done, bro. It's been 10.
Wait, I have one
no,
more
no,
thing.
no, please, I'm gonna give it to fucking. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not judging this fucking shit.
Okay, can I speak, please?
Yeah, you guys can speak. I'm not fucking judging this shit. Why? I'm not judging this.
All right, all I have to say is like the first thing.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back.
With the first thing she said, like addressing the point that we were already on. He conceded and agreed with like what I was saying. The second thing about like him wanting to maintain the NIN or whatever the fuck. I guess I just say like, yeah, you're saying he wants to maintain the amount, but I'm saying, I've already addressed that as well. You just like went in a huge circle. So if we conclude now, like that's fine. But you were saying like he wants to train his nin like individually or some shit, and the way he does it is 10. I already addressed that. So yeah, we can just conclude if you want. I mean, if that means we're disregarding everything else that you guys just said, like all the new points and stuff.
No, we're not disregarding anything. I want to continue.
Oh
No, no,
my
no, no,
god.
no. Wait, okay, wait. When you wait, truth. Repeat that.
I was saying they just like totally mistracked everything I said, and everything that C said I already addressed, so we can just
Are you
conclude.
confident to end it? Are you confident to end the debate here?
I'm confident to end the debate here if every single new point that they brought up that wasn't already a point is disregarded.
True, my brother,
Um,
my brother in credit. Let me tell you something.
hold on, wait.
I'm not dropping anything,
See,
bro.
let me ask Sakazuki a question. Sakazuki, Are
Sokka
we?
said
Are we?
earlier. Wait, Sokka the judge said earlier that there would be no new points, and we would only talk about the points that had already been going because we want to
Yeah,
get the
but you
debate
guys brought
over
me
with.
points. That's the whole point. You guys brought me points. That's why I responded.
Okay, up until the point of the recording where Flames brought up new points. You guys can just end the debate or dismiss the debate here.
I'll just conclude. In conclusion, Pitou beats Netero because Pitou is more aura than Netero, and so that obviously contributes significantly to offense and defense. So there's greater weighting on the side of Pitou to win. There were other factors brought up by Flames that we couldn't get to, like things that could also affect it. But Gizbob already said that defense, you know, Netero can't damage the guy or damage the Pitou person. Offense, Pitou can deal fatal damage with her attacks. So like just based on what we discussed, it seems like there's just more reason to believe that Pitou wins. Netflix training is fucking irrelevant. Netflix training is arguably for the purpose of the zero hand. The zero hand is an emissive ability. It makes more sense for him to train his efficiency and controlling Nen rather than his potency, as in like the magnitude. I don't know why he keeps using the term potency. It's not potency, it's magnitude, right? Like the amount of Nen you have. We're talking about the amount of Nen you have, but if Netflix is training for his efficiency, then we're just talking about two completely different fucking things. And so the burden is to show that he's training his magnitude of Nen rather than his fucking efficiency of Nen. I also showed that Pitou has more Nen based on her restricted N versus his unrestricted Nen when he's training. Then Truth fucking bit the cock and said no, his Nen is being held back too. But if his Nen being held back too, then he's not really training to his full extent. Because that's fucking retarded for him to hold back when training. Like, who the fuck does that? You're not going to reap any rewards. Brought up the Bisky scan, where Bisky says it takes a month to prolong your run by 10 minutes, and actually he's holding back, so it would even take longer for him to reach that threshold, and so that change is going to be pretty insignificant comparative to the amps that Pitou gets. Pitou gets a post-mortem amp, Pitou gets a battle mode amp. I gave evidence with Xeno. When Xeno puts his Nen into his hand, it gets a monstrous amount of damage potential. Pitou does the same thing, except Pitou's Nen is spread out over 3 kilometers away from her body. So all of that Nen is now being returned to a physical body. So the person that was looked at by Netero says, oh my god, like they're so much stronger than me based on the Nen, right? That Nen isn't even in battle mode yet, so she would just get an amp from that. It's pretty massive. And she get another amp from post-mortem, which is also pretty fucking massive. So she'll just be fucking stronger based on that. Netero can't damage Pitou. Netero gets damaged pretty badly by Pitou. What the fuck else is there really to say? Peter's specialist, so she can use enhanced abilities just as well as enhancers can. She can use emissive ability just as well as emissive can, etc. etc. Netero sucks ass, and that's the conclusion. I'm saving the record live because you niggas can't fucking hold me,
If I
man.
want to conclude,
Slash
I'm gonna
save. I don't give
start. I'm
a
gonna
I'd rather
start.
die
nigga.
than listen to a
Nigga.
Flames conclusion.
Wait, no, I wanna do
What
it,
I
bro.
say,
I'm
bro,
gonna
cry
fuck
white,
you
bro.
think,
Bro,
bitch.
what the
Fuck you,
fuck?
nigga. Alright, bro. Yeah, the end of the Rex. I'll just explain it like this, bro. Like they didn't respond to a single point I made. I'm not sure about truth because I
Yo,
didn't
the
collect his
recording's
points,
fucking over,
but
Ak. Like, allow it.
bro,
Nah,
Allow
he
I
it.
don't, I
started
don't
a
give a
new
shit,
one.
bro. I
Yo,
don't give a
you
shit, bro.
guys
I don't
are
give a shit, bro. I
biased
don't
as
give a shit,
fuck,
bro.
bro. You let C give his conclusion, but you guys
Let me
didn't
say
let
something,
Flames
bro.
give
Let
his
me say something,
conclusion.
bro. Let me
Oh
say
my
something,
god.
Bro,
bro.
who
These
let
guys,
Lisa
Stand
bitch
stand
ass up
every
on the
stand
time,
stage,
every
bro?
stand
time, bro, every time I just give a point, bro, just cross my
Yo, why are
heart,
you
bro.
getting
Guys,
quiet
welcome to
on
my
Yeah,
dark
me?
side,
bro.
bro. Listen, bro. Every single time, bro. Every single time.
Bro, all right, just let me get my.
Let Sasuke Jr. speak, bro.
Oh, go ahead, Flames. Whatever you got.
Is it the case that Truth gave his conclusion? Truth didn't give his conclusion.
Oh, can I
Oh,
conclusion? Holy shit.
yeah, sure, bro.
Wallahi,
But no,
I'm
man.
beat on the stage, bro.
Alright,
Everyone
bro.
fucking
So fucking see, Wallahi, you're a terrorist, bro. How about that? Wallahi, you're a fucking debate come terrorist, bro. I don't
just
know how it's hard to just have a normal debate for once in your
bro,
life.
leave now, bro. Fucking leave, bro.
Wallahi, you're a fucking terrorist, man.
Bro,
How do I end the stage?
help me kick everyone, bro. Please, come on.
How do I end the stage then? Tell me.
Fuck, bro.
Why are you kicking the manual? You fucking end the stage, bro.